We'll play an Italian, how about? Bishop c4 and pawn c3. There is an opening I played many episodes ago, which is kind of the start of a Greco gambit, also known as a Muller attack. Pawn to d4. It's by far the most ambitious move, taking over the center. Now, at a very high level, this opening is perhaps objectively dubious, especially with this next move, knight c3. But I'm playing in a gambit fashion, and it's an opening that I learned many, many years ago. One of the first openings I learned as a scholastic player. Just trying to remember the theory here. Probably learned this first when I was about 9 years old. And white has already sacrificed a pawn, but the position does get a bit complex. I'm going to play this move pawn to d5. Not taking the bishop, but counterattacking the knight. And this is a very old opening line. There's probably games dating back like 100, maybe a couple hundred years featuring this line. And knight takes f2 I've never seen before. So it seems like my opponent maybe doesn't know the theory. With knight takes f2, black is giving back a piece. Of course, attacking my queen. And I have to figure out the best path forward here. Because if I take the knight with the rook, there is bishop... Oh no, there's not bishop d4, because I can take with a knight. Yeah, so if I take the knight, it looks like I'm going to be winning the knight or the bishop on the next move. And if we just recap the material situation, when I take the knight, I will be down 2 pawns, but if I win a minor piece, I should be ahead. I'm looking at the line, rook takes f2, knight e5, counterattacking the bishop. But then I think I can very simply take the bishop, and if knight takes e4, I have queen e2 hitting the king and the knight. So yeah, let's go for this. Yeah, it looks like white should be winning material here. We see bishop d4. I initially thought this move was annoying, but I just take with a knight. And I'm going to be up a bishop for 2 pawns. Yeah, let's take on d4. And this is very, very nice for white, because I have a lot of attacking potential on the king side. And I'm wondering if I can start with bishop h6. It seems like a crazy move. Maybe not entirely necessary. The idea would be if pawn takes, I can then try and lift the rook over for checkmate. Realizing it's maybe not so clear after pawn f6. Probably don't want to overthink things too much. There's another move which looks very attractive, this move pawn d6. And it's a very nice positional idea, preventing black from playing d6 and developing the bishop quickly. Not only am I shutting in this bishop, but I'm opening up my own bishop. f7 is a very clear target. Imagine there are going to be ideas of eventually doubling up on f-file. So black takes. I'm still drawn to this idea, bishop h6. It's a forcing move. It threatens checkmate in 1. Looks like black's only option is to take. And then rook f3. Again threatening mate in 1. And this time there's no f6 because the f-pawn is pinned. If queen g5, I would win the queen. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for it now. Bishop h6. It's worth sacrificing the bishop to open the g-file. And black just has so few defensive resources, given that most of the pieces are, actually all of the pieces are on the back rank. And pawns don't really help either. And again, we see this middle game idea of lifting the rook, also called a rover, when you move up and then over. Very common attacking idea. And rook g3 is pretty much unstoppable now. My opponent does have time to think. And this isn't quite force mate. Like, black can probably give away the queen or try and trade queens. But the problem with this move is rook g3 is checkmate. It doesn't matter that my queen was pinned in the final position. Queen still controls h8.